These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
First of all, episode 20, which means we've been doing this for like roughly 4.5 months.
Yes. Feels just like yesterday.
And it kind of does. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No.
Really. And things have really started to pop in the last week, which is interesting.
Well,
And that,
I sent you a text on that.
Well, it's well, hold on. Okay. So, well, Skippy had mentioned that we were getting a lot of new likes from a certain region of the world.
Please hold again.
Oh my God. So if you didn't catch it, Skippy's at the vet with his two dogs. Apparently he stays in the car while the dogs are inside, and then they bring them back out. Oh, there's a puppy. So we are now seeing the dogs being brought back out. Skippy trying to get his dog to sit. Good boy. Sit. Sit. So we're on hold for a second. Just give me time though to get the info that we were just talking about. Which was we've had about 50 new followers in the last, I don't know, 4 days to a week. And this is without being prompted for Facebook ads or anything like that. Yeah, the Facebook ad just started running yesterday afternoon. So this was all organic growth. And it seemed to be coming, Skippy said, from the Middle Eastern area, just based on names, which is fair. So if you go into your insights and under audience and look at your top cities and countries, top countries right now, the United States with a solid 69.7%. You want to guess number two? Wait a minute, Skippy. Do you have me muted again? You're muted. You're muted.
I started my car back up. Sorry.
Was I talking to myself? Did you hear anything I said then?
That we're seem to be big in the Middle East.
Well, that's what you had told me. That was the gist of the text that you sent me, more or less.
Yep.
So yeah, we're at 70% roughly for the United States of our
today. Since we decidated we might not want all of our food.
Yeah, I know.
At first, I know you guys have gone through it a lot.
Many times.
We just have to go through it every
You're
time
good.
because there's always once. Start with about half of her next meal. If
Yep.
she eats it, keeps it down. You can give her the rest after an hour. Because she's going to be a little woozy today.
Oh, yeah.
Leash walk only for bathroom. No running, jumping, rough play, anything like that. We don't want her stumbling,
Nope.
injuring herself. Pretty much just as quiet as possible today. Everything's back to normal tomorrow.
Perfect.
And there's that copy for you.
Awesome.
And
Thank
I
you.
will be back in just a minute. Did they already give you your total or?
Yeah, 7 something or
Yes,
other.
754.68. I'll be back on just a
Yippee.
minute. Okay?
Thanks. Okay. Yay. I need to go back to work.
Oh, are you
sorry.
ready for me now?
I'm sorry. I got one. They're going to give me a receipt here shortly, and then I'm on the road. I'm done. Okay, done. I'm done for today.
All right, take 3. God. So
Oh boy, you got to edit. Sorry.
I haven't had to in a while.
I know.
So anyways, yeah, we're getting 4.5% from India, 3% from Brazil, 2.5% from Pakistan, 1.5% from Mexico, and then some small percentages from, Ecuador, Kenya, Nigeria, the
Ooh,
Philippines, and Sierra Leone.
okay. I think that's Africa, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Sierra Leone's Africa.
That sounds
So-
right. So
We're big in
It's,
the Western Hemisphere.
So it's it was super interesting. And then 2 days ago, because I kind of keep a track of our podcast downloads as we go through things. Let's see what today, Monday. So it would have been Saturday. Saturday historically for us has been a pretty low download day. Anybody that's downloaded or is looking for the episode has already downloaded it by then, right?
Yeah.
So we usually see a big peak on Mondays, and then it just kind of, it's a scale, it goes down day by day. Saturday was our busiest download day of the week.
How many times did Rich Parker download the episode? Which I appreciate, Rich. Thank you.
Sunday almost beat it. And then as of this morning already, we're almost matched it. So it's been interesting to say the least that we've gotten such a large uptick in maybe we're finally catching on. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me deal with my dogs now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
we're
Sunday.
up. What's that?
Sunday beat Saturday.
Yeah, so we're up 48% this 30 days. So yeah, I don't know. Yes, Skippy?
Does that mean we're trending?
No.
Damn.
48% over a mediocre amount is still pretty mediocre. But progress in the right direction. Hold on. I just got an email from Apple.
Oh,
Apple
we're trending?
Podcasts.
Oh, we must be
Monday
trending.
Morning Food Truck has one chart ranking.
Ooh,
Congratulations, your podcast is ranked in the Apple Podcast charts. Or this is spam, which it looks like.
oh, I was so happy for 10 seconds.
Me too, until I saw the link that does not go to Apple. It goes to Podkite, which I don't
Not
know who
today,
they are,
Isis. Not today.
but damn, so close. But anyways, we're still things are looking in the right direction. So they say, unless you're already an established celebrity, which clearly we aren't.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
Forgot about your modeling career.
Well, OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Yeah, it's about 2 years is what they say for things to really catch on. So we got a ways to go, but I'm feeling good at 20 episodes in. No regrets so far.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
So Skippy, how was your week?
Well,
I know you didn't work.
I definitely didn't work, but we're definitely festive for the holidays. I completed a honey-do list that was a mile long. I'm pretty proud of myself on that. Did some home improvement projects, and I'm really bad at cutting things, and I was actually able to cut things and measure correctly. It only took me a while. I got my beautiful little co-pilot here for anybody who can see it. She's our built-in Christmas song, by the way, because her name is Nala. So she's Nala la 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 la. Anyway, so my wife had a cookie exchange party yesterday, and by Friday night we sat down on the couch and we're looking. She's like, "The house is just so pretty. It's so pretty." And I said, "Yes, dear. It's full of anger and rage." And she says, "Yes, yes, honey, it is." And then one of her friends came over for the cookie exchange, and her significant other said, "You realize that if you go over there, you need to dress up because you're pretty much probably walking into a Hallmark house, correct?" And she's like, "Oh yes, I better dress up then." So that was the extent of I was just a handyman for a week, but I plan on getting out this next week with joy and chaos and rage.
Which menu are you running?
Normal. Yeah.
Not gonna try the other menu again?
No, I'm gonna stick to what brought us to the game, and just continue it. I'm gonna have the plan is to have a one of those like flyer holders that you see in like retail spot, like almost cell phone stores, that'll have like kind of like our catering menu too, so people can take a look at it. We'll have a QR code that takes you right there. I'm going to focus on catering on off days and go down to local businesses, drop off some flyers, see what I can find, see what I can drum up, and then probably do a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday kind of thing.
Well,
Ish.
cool.
Yeah. Probably a couple butts, a couple briskets a week, a couple pans of mac and cheese. Everybody loves mac and cheese.
Usually, yeah.
So how was your week?
Interesting.
Okay, I love interesting. It means story time.
Well, not really interesting in like a happy way. Just I was scratching my head most of the day Friday. Okay, so last Friday, day after Thanksgiving, was our slowest day of the winter menu. We followed up that with Tuesday, which was our second slowest day of the winter menu. Weather was pretty good. I mean, it was windy. It's been windy here all for the last week. But it was weird that it wasn't awful. I mean, it was a decent day. Looking at where sales have been and our margins on those sales, I mean, it's a day that is a fine day for what I'm looking for it to do. So, but yeah, to see that a follow-up of our slowest day to go to that then was a little disheartening. We thought we'd definitely see an uptick at our usual spot. So we'll see what happens this week. Or if this trend continues, then we'll know that it's time to yank the plug and close up shop for the winter. So that was an okay day, not great. Wednesday we did one of our Spectrum office, or Thursday, one of our Spectrum offices, one that we haven't done the winter menu at yet. And she had told me that Thursday was their lighter staff day. But Thursday was all we had. But it was still a good day. We saw quite a few people, some of our regulars, some of our regular barbecue customers that we hadn't seen yet from that side of town. But she, like halfway through lunch, she said, "I'm hearing great things. Let me know when you guys can come back out." So it was an average day. It was okay, but definitely noticed their lighter staff numbers. And then Friday, which was probably the nicest day of the week, it was upper 30s, sun off and on, a light breeze, and we did 4 transactions.
Ouch.
Yeah, 4. 4's not a good number. I don't care what you're selling, unless it's bricks of gold. 4 is not a good number.
Ouch.
That one really had us puzzled because it was at Wiseman. Huh? What'd you say?
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, so it was at Wiseman, which has always been it's always been the good lunch spot for us. But we've had slower days there. So when you start to do the ratios of the barbecue to the winter menu, a slow day for barbecue is a slow day for sandwiches. And when you get to a dead day, it's a 4 transaction day, which we've had dead days for barbecue before, and it happens. So, I mean, but you get to thinking, well, shoot, is it Friday? Are people taking off Fridays right now because of the holiday season, that everybody's getting in longer weekends to try to get stuff done, get shopping done, get whatever done? Or is it truly, which in that place, it's all business traffic for us. So it's it's offices. So without them, there's 4 transactions. Because no one's at the distillery for lunch, typically. Unless you really have had a bad morning. Which they had a hot buttered rum, and I thought about it like 6 different times walking in and getting 2 or 8 of them. So I don't know. We'll see. We're going back there this Friday. We have the next. I think this is our last Friday for a little while because we actually are doing a catering event next weekend or next Friday for Tesla manufacturing, 150 people. And then the following Friday is the 23rd, which I think we're not going to be open. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes this Friday and make that determination too. If it's another dead day, then we'll, see how it goes for a time in January. But
this week, according to weather over here, is supposed to be most of the days are in the mid 40s.
yeah, it's not bad over here either.
With Thursday being maybe some snow or wind. That's why I'm looking forward to getting back out.
Yeah, the weather is definitely encouraging this week. But we seem to have less correlation with weather and how busy we are right now than we do during the summer. So, so new menu, new seasons, and new figuring out patterns or lack of patterns. So it's we're back to, we just opened and we're trying to figure everything out, which is fine. And I like that part of it. And as long as we can continue to be semi-profitable and pay what we need to pay, then we'll keep running. But yeah. At some point in time, it's not just going to be, okay, we're covering these bills, but is it worth my time and effort to spend a half day shopping on Mondays, and getting prep done and all that, and still waking up early on those days and stuff like that. So, we'll see. I don't know. Playing it a week at a time right now. We are cutting back our hours this week from 11 to 2 to 11 to 1:30 because we really haven't seen anything after 1:30 at any of them. So, so we'll save about 50 cents.
I think we talked about this yesterday. Or not yesterday, last week, sorry. What made you choose Tuesday instead of Wednesday, just doing 3 days straight versus 1 day on, or 1 day on, 1 day off, and then 2 days off?
Because we wanted to still do the Dutton Marathon, and we've always been there on Tuesdays. So it was more of a consistency with a date or a day of the week and a location. Next week we are going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday instead of Tuesday. So we'll move our marathon station to Thursdays, and then our Spectrum offices will be Wednesdays to get back onto their higher staffed days. So, I talked about that with Pam too over the week. I was like, I don't know why this 1 day off or 3 days off, 1 day on, 1 day off, 2 days on is just weird. And it almost feels harder to do it that way, but, yeah, you learn. So, that, and just trying to, that and the kids' schedules and trying to figure out what's best to do when, so, and still be able to get to everything. So there are some factors there, but I am not locked into them, and they should be changing next week a little bit. So I'm glad you're getting back out this week, rejoining the workforce.
Oh, shit. The amount of money I just spent over the last week and nothing's coming in. I need to somehow get some of that back.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I had Chad Urbanovic had messaged me for a while ago. Messaged me. Huh?
I said I talked to him too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did he say that did he throw out some topic ideas for you?
I don't necessarily, he was going to come work with me, and something happened where I had to reschedule it with him. But yeah, he wants to see what it's like. So he definitely wants to work with somebody. I think it's more of, I think if he goes back and listens to the beginning, it will give him a better maybe idea of what to start looking at.
So yes. Well, I'm trying to get my screens back to where I need them. Yeah, so he's looking to do some part-time stuff. He had asked me if we could cover how to get started. I was like, pretty sure we did in the first few episodes, or at least tried to. And he said he listened to them all, and I said, if you're looking for something more specific, you know, I mean, we can do that. So he had said, I have a full-time job, but thinking I could make extra cash. I have 3 places, and then he, in parentheses, not places near you guys, I could always set up. Is the time worth it? Bubba says no. And then
You get out of it. Somebody told me this saying, you get out what you put in.
Yep. And then he wanted to know about going through inspections, how to prepare for them, and should we start with a small trailer and then upgrade? So we'll start with that top one. Is the time worth it? And I'm not sure if that's the time to prep to open the business or the time every day while you're already established business. I guess that comes down to the type of person you are.
I think you and I can say the time is worth it because this is our job. This is what we do. This is how we make a living. I think if you start off part-time, I mean, basically like I did, it gets your feet wet, but it really doesn't prepare you for everything. And when I started going 5 days a week from doing, 5 times a month, it was a big struggle for me. Planning my time, making sure that I had, everything, all my ducks in a row, all my shopping done. How many times, I can't tell you how many times I have to go to the store every week because I don't use checklists and I try to use my memory, and we all know my memory sucks. So like I said, you get out what you put in. If this is what you want to do, you need to be committed to it. I think you need to be committed to it 100%. You need to live it, breathe, do it.
I think it is a very, very hard side hustle. I was working 40 hours a week and then driving another 20 every week to go to and from work. So there was the 60 hours. And then when I was doing weekends, I would spend the time that I got home prepping for full-time weekend service to then put in another 30 hours over the weekend. So I was 7 days a week running 2 full-time jobs, essentially. My life got easier when I committed to going full-time on the barbecue. Even though I was working more hours, all my energy was focused going one direction instead of splitting it into 2. But if you're just looking to do weekends, like I had always planned on growing past the weekend thing at some point. So, but if your ambition isn't that, and it's just to make a little side cash to go on vacation or something like that, then yeah, you don't have to be all in. We've all done it and packaged up and vacuum sealed pounds of pork or brisket that we did on a weekend and sell it for nothing just to make $100 here or there, right? So yeah, if that's kind of what you're looking for, then great. But it's a time-consuming barbecue is time-consuming. It's all-encompassing. It's all day, all night, all life. For me, it makes it a hard hobby side hustle.
Yeah, you have to. There's a lot. The word dedicate comes into place. You have to realistically really have to dedicate yourself to building your brand, because that's what it is building a brand. Nike didn't get big overnight. Under Armour didn't get big overnight. They all built their brands via whatever platforms they decided to use. And that's, if you're working a full-time job, he works at a GM factory, so he's probably working more than a full-time job. So I don't think the time if you have time, uh, have at it, but you have to cook every every weekend to make sure that whatever you're putting out is the best that you're putting out. Try to outdo yourself. Sorry, that was a little ramble.
That's all we do here, man.
Yeah,
20 episodes of rambling.
yeah. Dedication, big word, dedication.
Dedication and passion.
Yeah, that's the other word.
I mean, if it's what you love to do, then do it. Yeah. Preparing for inspections and going through them. They're easy, man. It's not bad at all. The initial inspection is the worst one, and that's not horrible. You get your checklist of what you have to have ready for them and what they're looking for, and they come through, and it's just a checklist. They check everything out to make sure you're good and that you have what you're supposed to have. I mean, it's not like it's a surprise. You schedule it, you go to them, they go through it. You have the checklist whenever you want to download it. It's available on the Michigan website.
Was it
Yeah.
MDARD?
Yeah, I think that's right. MDARD or something like that. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural something or other. Yeah. It's in a weird section of the Michigan, but if you just look up Michigan STFU inspection, you'll get it. It'll pull through.
Yeah, it should come right up for you. The only thing that's really different with inspections really is the county that you're getting licensed through. There are certain counties that want different things. And what I would suggest, if you're building one, send your plans to your local health department. Get on a first name basis with whoever works in your county or wherever you're going to get licensed at. And use them. Say, hey, this is what I'm going through, and before I build a trailer, I want to make sure it's right. That's what I had to do.
Yeah, it's always best to contact them early. I wish I would have started the process earlier with them. I could have had some changes made to the trailer that would have made life a little bit easier, probably. Michigan requires air brakes in plumbing for backup stuff, so which were not built in. The pipes were separated, but they were sitting in, so the drain pipe was going into the funnel. It was sitting inside of it, which is not allowed. You actually have to have a 1-inch gap above. So I had to make those adjustments, and apparently the funnel was supporting some of the drains, so I had to reconfigure some stuff. But I mean, all in all, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a, hey, you can't be open. It was a, hey, get this fixed, and we'll see you when you have your first paid inspection. Yeah, it's not bad. And most health departments they're not looking to shut anybody down. Most health departments aren't looking to shut anybody down. Again, that could vary greatly from county to county. Kent County has been a peach to work with. Newaygo County, which is a conglomerate with 10 different counties, I think, because they are so rural and sparsely populated. That whole, I think it's District 10 or whatever, is a pleasure to work with. I have not run into an awful health department yet. Some sanitary inspectors that have been less than great, but they're just doing their job, and some of them like to have the power. So, but all in all, it's not really all that rough. And then
the other thing he can do, or anybody listening, is see if you can find a food truck in whatever county you want to get licensed in, and talk to them, pick their brain if they have some time. I have found so far that most food trucks I've talked to, food truck owners I've talked to, are willing to help in any way. I mean, when I went into this, I thought there's going to be a lot of competitiveness, and I'm sure there's a little bit of it, but it seems like everybody I've ever worked with or spoke to has been awesome. So don't be afraid to contact somebody in your own county to figure out what what trials and tribulations they had to go through. That way they can cut your learning curve.
Yeah, I liken it a lot to competitive barbecue in that scene that we were in, where you're all competitors, but no one wants to see anybody else fail in the industry. So the better one of us looks, the better all of us look. And the last thing we need to get to is back to the roach coach stigma of food trucks. So yeah, everybody's willing to help you get through whatever you need to. Yeah, because one bad food truck can ruin the image pretty quickly. So yeah, and then the last thing he had, flippity flap.
I think it was whether he should start small. And
Yeah, so start with a small trailer and then upgrade. I guess that depends on what kind of bankroll you have, and what you want to do with it. I mean, I think we've that was one of my first things of, you want to start a food truck type of thing. You got to know what kind of truck you want to be. Are you a setup at just for lunch and dinner, like kind of like what you and I do? Or are you going to be a festival driven truck where you're going to see crowds of 1,000 every time you go out?
yeah,
because for me, those are two completely different setups on trailers and sizes of trailers. In my head, and I already have it pretty well planned out. When we get to a festival only trailer, that it'll just go out on weekends, and I know exactly how I want it set up with 2 different service windows. So we can actually feed off of 2 different lines, and yeah, it's a 30-foot trailer probably. But if you're just looking, Chad, if you're just looking to do weekends and just do this as a hobby to make some extra cash, the trailer you're using for barbecue competitions, I don't remember it, but I think it had a window in it, a service window. I know some of those cargos did. I thought his was one of them.
I think his was more of a snowmobile trailer. I think he had like
a
front drop down and back.
Okay. Well, shit, cut a window into that thing and
Yeah, right.
call it good. Yeah, I mean,
my advice is go as big as you think you'll ever need.
And you can afford.
True. Affording it, money is a thing.
Well, and here's kind of where I was at. I did the math before I ever signed the paper. I found out what my trailer was going to cost, what my lease payments were, and then how much do I need to sell to pay the payment? At a minimum, how much do I have to sell in order not to lose the trailer? Everything else I can deal with, but that's the base minimum. Just doing weekends, can I make that work if I only work weekends for the 4-year period of the loan/lease? So that's kind of where I based the size of the trailer, because you're looking at other trailer builds and, oh, this one's got a walk-in cooler in it. That'd be nice to have on board. So yeah, it's easy your dream trailer. But especially right now, you're looking at, for that kind of trailer, $80,000-$90,000 easy, to get whatever you possibly could want and need. So yeah, it's your budget's going to be a big thing. It never hurts to start small and then upgrade, especially if you have larger ambitions and you could make use out of 2 trailers, one being a smaller trailer, one being a larger trailer, because smaller trailers are great to send out to open houses and stuff like that. So yeah, it never hurts to start small, pay it off, and then go cash for everything else. Yeah, cash is king. So Skippy, since we talked about my lease stuff and everything, so I got interested because my Square email came through again with my borrowing power for the week. So I started looking at the terms. Have you looked at the terms on those?
Yep.
Did you realize that they just take it out of your daily sales?
Yep.
Your payments? I had no idea. And I think that's super cool the way they do that. And the payback amounts aren't that bad. I mean,
Well,
compared to everything else.
truth be told, that's how I bought the Outlaw.
So yeah, it was so I was like it was 30, I think $30,000 was my borrowing power for the period or whatever. And it was a payback of 34.
Yeah,
Geez, that's not.
It's guaranteed paid back in 18 months.
Yep.
They take it out of your daily sales. You have to make a minimum payment of a certain dollar amount every 60 days.
Yep.
And then they have a loan fee, which is probably their version of quote unquote interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's comes out of you'll get an email basically every day that you have sales. It'll tell you how much your balance is, how much went towards it.
Well, good. I'm glad that you've gone through it, so you can explain it better than what I just kind of glanced over.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I had the cash to do it, to buy it. I mean, I had, the money to do it, but I'm like, hey, let's kind of try this out, see if it works, see if it hurts us in any way. If
Well,
it was $200, another time's $12. Yeah, I'm going through some.
No, you're fine.
Issues, so
Yeah. You're good now.
So now, it's horrible. If you already have a loan out through them, they'll still offer you money. They'll tell you that you have to pay. They'll give you X amount of dollars, which will include paying your current loan off.
Okay.
And sometimes if you're doing good on paying that one off, because I got the Outlaw in August, I have $800 left on it. The terms will actually be more favorable.
Huh.
So I think I'm doing like 12% of my daily sales. I think I looked at it again for shits and giggles, and it was like 10% of my daily sales.
So a couple other questions. We'll start with this one. Do you have a separate FEIN number set up for the business, or are you just using your social security number?
I haven't. Did you say EIN number?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a separate one. You're not just using your social security number?
Correct. I do have an EIN number. Yes.
Okay. So does it pull off your personal credit then for that loan, or does it use just, do you know?
I don't believe it actually even uses credit.
Okay. And that's what I would thought, was that it's just using your sale history as its basis for a loan. Okay.
Yeah. So it might be great for a down payment. Might be great for, if obviously I wouldn't do it now because I'm not working. I'm currently,
right.
I would, if I was staying off, if I was doing what you were doing last year and being off, I wouldn't do it. But realistically, every 60 days, and you'll get a notification for anyone who uses Square, you'll get a notification every month. And based off your sales for the previous month, it'll say you can borrow X amount of dollars. And the next month, if your sales are a little bit lower, then your offer will be a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But I think the highest I ever got was like 22,000, and now currently it was like 14. And
Yeah, I think I got close to 50 one time, like in the height of our peak season. But yeah, right now we're the last one I saw was 30. But I was thinking, well, then doing the math, I was like, well, shit, this is a way better deal than what I got for the first trailer, yeah. On that lease, my lease to own trailer. I was like, well, maybe that's a way I can get there, because you can't get traditional. It's harder to do traditional loans through the business entity unless your taxes are being done by a CPA. Which we just haven't really had a need to do yet, because our taxes are still pretty simple. So the thought of paying that out was not really on my radar. So yeah, I was hoping that maybe it was that this was a good way to earn some business credit through that program, but it doesn't sound like it might not work that way.
Well, so there is, and I know you haven't had a conversation with yours. Nobody's reached out to you regarding a Square account manager.
Yeah.
I've had a conversation with one, but they weren't allowed to talk to it. They would have to send you over to Square Capital, is where that loan comes from. And the loan was actually in less than 48 hours.
Not bad.
And they just, because I have a bank account with them, they just dropped it right in there.
Well, yeah, I would assume it would work just like my deposits from them to my bank account.
Yeah.
So whatever gets approved, then the next bank day would be, it would drop, I would guess, but well, interesting.
The only thing that's hard to get over is whatever their loan fee is, but
it's really not that bad.
I have to assume that
Yeah, I lost the last.
I think some are bigger than others.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll check that out when we're at our peak season and see how the terms change on that. Because I'm really leaning towards that's the way that I might do the second trailer.
Yeah, I'm sure anybody listening, we're probably going to get some backlash for even thinking about it, but hey, it is what
are you going into debt for?
Because
you got to spend money to make money, baby.
I mean, here at the end of the day, I took a $7,200 loan out and I have $800 left to pay on.
Yeah.
Now the other thing is I don't know, because I haven't tried it, on whether I can pay it off early or whether I have to go straight through the term. But I know it automatically takes, I think my minimum is, I don't know, $400 or something like that every 60 days that I have to.
Yeah, it seems like you'd be able to pay it off early, just like anything else. I mean, if you're not getting charged a true interest and it's just their service fee or whatever,
yeah,
then yeah, I mean, why not? Just like on my lease for the trailer, I asked if I could pay it off early to save money. It's like, you can pay it off early, you're not saving any money. I said, all right. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of the same thing where it doesn't help you to pay it off early, but it doesn't hurt you either. So,
yeah.
Speaking of which, I got one more payment left.
Yes.
It came out of my account this morning, and I have one left.
Can we have a small party afterwards?
Yeah, just not in the trailer, so we don't break anything.
That was the first place I was going to say.
Yeah.
Streamers and balloons.
But yeah, so I had something else. I don't suppose you did your homework this week. You didn't even remember, did you?
I had a house full of anger and rage.
You survived. Congratulations. You aced your homework. I didn't either. And since I had not heard anything from you, I figured you weren't doing it either. So
well, I sent you a video. I thought that was my homework. I didn't send it to you yet, but I uploaded it to the Facebook page.
yeah,
That's my little trailer. My little trailer.
No, remember we were gonna do some cooking week to week. But I'm glad you didn't, because I wanna rethink how we do it. So yeah.
I can tell you that I haven't in our battle for 10,000 and 2,000. My ad stopped on November 30th, and I got one like since.
Oh, I have still not caught up to you though. You still need less than I do.
Little under 500. I'm at 1525.
1525.
Yeah.
All right.
But that was only spending like $5 a day for like 15 days.
Yeah, you don't need to. You really don't need to put a ton of money behind it to have an impact. So as long as they're set up right, you can make some pretty good progress. I am at 94.76. So I need 50 more than you do. So, but yeah, I gained about 100 last week.
Yeah. I was gonna restart the ad. Now that I know how to do it correct.
Yeah. And our ad is running. We got some advertisements going out for the podcast now as of this morning. Oh, look, another FedEx. Holy crap, that thing's big. What the hell is that?
You're looking down. What are you looking at?
My phone, my doorbell camera. I just got a notification. UPS just dropped off a rather large package. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to put it together, so I'm going to ignore it.
Is
I
it
have enough to do today.
Something food truck related?
No, child's bed related, so a new bed.
I believe from looking at your Facebook feed, I believe you took all the kiddos and the spouse and picked up a Christmas tree this weekend, eh?
We did, which is about a week later than I normally like to go. I try to go the day after Thanksgiving normally. So, yeah, everything else was decorated in the house. We just had a bare corner that needed a tree, which was kind of sad for a week. But
is this the first Christmas in the new house?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We went out. We found a tree that was. It's going to do the job. White pine or no Scotch pine, white. I don't know, one of the two. Not my favorite species, huh?
Keep that damn thing watered.
Oh yeah, I never have a problem keeping trees alive. That's why you go fresh, and not pre-cut. My trees stay alive until mid-January.
Did you see the image of one of our friends' tree? Fell over.
Rico's, yeah.
With other ornaments.
I have
somebody posted when she posted that it was back up. Somebody commented on it and says, "Hey, is your husband in front of it, holding it because he's so tall you can't see him?"
Yeah, I've had some where I've had to put like dumbbells on the back side of it, just because for whatever reason, they're just heavy on one side. But yeah, that's not my favorite species of tree for sure.
It's all the squirrels.
We did have a bird's nest in ours. Yeah, that was nice. But yeah, it's the branches are not super sturdy. I like the softer needles. I like a Fraser or a con-colored fir, where the branches are a little bit sturdier, but the needles are soft. But this is
one real tree in my entire life.
Oh my God, I've never had a fake tree, and I never will.
Always had a fake tree.
I'm sorry. Sorry, you've had a sad life.
I mean, listen. It was an 8-foot tree that my mom, a single mom of me, had to basically put up by herself, and it ended up being, for some reason, she got one taller than the ceiling. So, needless to say, we were cutting it in our living room. But anyway,
I do that almost every year. Yep. So we got everything's on and it's all good, and it's a beautiful tree. They just keep having ornaments fall off of it every time someone walks by it.
That happens.
A good stiff breeze will get the thing to get ornaments to fall off. So with my 2 dogs and 2 young children, you can imagine my whole day is putting ornaments back onto the tree that don't want to be on there. But
hey, Rich Parker, since he's going to be listening to this one, now's the time to order your advertisement promos. So please contact Josh Hans regarding advertisements for holidays.
Yes, I will do it in my best Santa voice. I have a good ho ho ho.
I'm sure you do, buddy. I'm sure you do.
Don't you talk about my wife that way?
You said it, not me.
Oh my gosh.
Just
love
agree.
you, babe.
Hey, she's our number one.
What?
Said your wife's our #1 fan.
She is?
Oh boy. Hey, you're a little close. This has been a crapshoot of a day. Just telling you that. Oh, you can't do one eyebrow. Okay, you can. Barely though.
I have to think about it really hard. I can wiggle my ears. Yeah, it's been, yeah. So yeah, it's our normal day. We really we're organized and well structured for our 20th episode.
Yeah, I'm.
We don't want to set the bar too high going forward, Skippy. We like to keep it right at knee level.
Oh yeah, we have a reputation to uphold.
Okay, all our new fans, which I love you all.
So hold on a second. I gotta ask you, do we need to translate this now?
Jesus Christ.
Not saying that our new fans do not speak English, but I'm just saying, should we offer translation services?
You know, I have a theory about our. No, never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
Is that an off-air topic?
No, because that would insinuate that it would be something off color, and it's not.
Oh no, full of color.
I'm just saying that we had a couple episodes where there might have been a political tangent or two, and that maybe that got filtered into some algorithms for some other people.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say that that's factual, but there's a timeline that I think would hold true, because I can't think of anything else in those couple episodes that were all that. Yeah, I don't know.
Looks like you're defunding the library rant really went far, didn't it?
Oh man, I tell you, the drama continues here for that thing. So a small newer restaurant. I think they've been open for 3-4 years, maybe. Outstanding food. It's called the Derby Tavern, and it's Kentucky Derby themed food and interior and stuff. We went there once. Well, actually, we couldn't. It was the third time before we actually were able to get into the doors because they're so busy. But really outstanding food. They do a little bit of barbecue stuff, and that's all really good. But they donated $100,000 to the library, and now people are calling for a boycott of the restaurant.
Are you serious?
That's how screwed up this whole thing is, because they're imposing their will on the people, which they're not. They're not making anybody go to the library, unlike the people that voted to defund it, who are preventing people from going to a library.
Oh boy.
So thanks for bringing that up, Skippy. I have resisted commenting on any of the posts because I don't want there to be a boycott of my food truck.
West Side problems.
Yes, that's what happens when you live in the Bible Belt of Michigan.
All we have in our Jackson area is a new traffic pattern that nobody has ever seen in their life. Have you ever heard of the diamond pattern?
You mentioned it a couple weeks ago. I have not looked it up. I think I know. I think I saw it somewhere else. Diamond, is that on an off ramp?
Yeah.
I think I saw it.
Our town can't handle roundabouts right. Can you imagine this shit show?
Well, I'm pulling it up right now. Diverging diamond interchange. All right, hold on. I'm sharing this screen. Hopefully YouTube will let us. I'm sure it's a public video. It shouldn't be a problem. Let's see here. Man, I have a lot of screens. Okay, we're gonna do that one. Share. Making sure that the adult videos don't pop up.
The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, in conjunction with the Federal Highway Administration, is in the process of implementing long-term improvements to Interstate 70.
Long-term improvements, Skippy.
Counties, Pennsylvania. As part of the improvements, PennDOT will reconstruct I-70 between the junctions with I-79 and will improve the interchange with US Route 19.
So a normal clover pattern that we're all familiar with.
In County, PA. The current interchange is a substandard cloverleaf interchange that was constructed nearly 60 years ago. With the desire to minimize impacts and to account for the traffic on both Route 70 and Route 19, a new interchange configuration was determined necessary. An innovative interchange called a diverging diamond interchange, also known as a double crossover diamond interchange, was selected and will be constructed at this location. The DDI is a new type of interchange that is growing in popularity. The DDI's primary purpose is to move traffic more efficiently.
Okay, there's a lot of intersections.
Yeah. Like I'm all about double D's, like divergent diamond, double D. I mean, but this is full of bullshit.
I kind of get it.
Its shape is
There.
similar to the diamond interchange
There,
that we
there.
are familiar with, but has three distinct differences. The first difference is traffic on Route 19 will cross over to the opposite or left side of the roadway within the interchange area. Starting at the southern DDI intersection, Route 19 northbound traffic will cross over to the opposite side of the roadway, will pass under I-70 on the left side of the roadway, and will cross over to the right side of the roadway through the northern DDI intersection.
Yeah, that's not going to mess me
Route
up.
9
You know what? I think I don't think it'll be a problem.
I mean, listen, again, our people don't don't understand roundabouts. By the way, roundabouts, I hate them. I hate roundabouts.
Roundabouts are easy, bud.
They're definitely easy for most people. It's the single idiots that don't know how to do it.
So you don't have a problem with roundabouts. You have a problem with people that are too stupid to figure them out.
Yes, and how a semi truck decided to take a roundabout and somehow flipped over on the roundabout.
Because they're not very good at roundabouts.
There's,
I mean, I've hit the curb a couple times with pulling the trailer. Just cutting a corner a little too close, but I mean,
Yeah.
once you figure it out, then it's not bad. I mean, it's the people that don't understand the difference between a yield and a stop that are the bigger issues.
can we go back to your schedule if we have time? I know we
Sure.
started late, but
Yeah,
so there are certain places that you went as a barbecue truck,
Mhm.
but why are you not going there as a soup and sandwich truck?
can you give me
such
a for instance?
Again,
Okay.
your wife's place of employment.
I had a feeling you were going to bring that up. Okay.
It's not
So
too
they
far
have-
away, is it?
No, it's not. So they have the person that always coordinated food trucks for the Kent County Jail. And that's for employees and nurses and deputies and all that, not inmates, just to clarify. They
Lunch for them.
I wish we could, and I feel so bad because they have certain inmates come out and they'll do like lawn maintenance and stuff. You know, they're supervised and stuff. Like keep driving the mowing the lawn right in front of the smoker. And so I was like, God, I feel so bad for these guys. I kind of look over longingly. Anyway, so the person that coordinates it, they had pretty much a set food truck season. And I think that was mostly because there were so few food trucks going all year long that the end of September, I think, was their end time, maybe mid-October. But anyway, so they had a very specific season. And then she announced to the food trucks that she was no longer going to do the program, that she was no longer going to coordinate, and she could not find a replacement.
Okay. Gotcha.
So at that point in time, food trucks were going to be done at the Kent County Jail until someone took over the torch.
Gotcha.
It wasn't until about a month ago that somebody picked up the torch. And it just never crossed my mind at the time to get back in. I am in the process now of talking to them to get back in there, see if we can do a couple winter dates and see how it goes.
And I know Midwest Energy, where you used to work, is quite a far drive.
Yeah, we won't go down there for that. It had crossed my mind to maybe do a special day and just go down there just for kicks and giggles. But that is a long drive and we would be busy. I know we would be busy just because of the people down there, and we have such a strong following down there. And it's just nice people that want to show support. That I don't know that we could keep up and provide a decent level of service. Because I told you, 3 to 3. I mean, doing a $300 hour feels like a $900 hour in the barbecue world.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
It's
I'd like
obviously
to go down there and treat them, but I just don't know that it would be feasible.
yeah, it's obviously easier when your menu is basically put together and you really don't have to.
Cook.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't have to cook it. You just have to assemble it and get it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was yeah, it's a place where we did 60, 70 transactions for lunch. So we do that for paninis, and I got people waiting 40 minutes, 45 minutes for a sandwich.
Yeah.
And that's a location where they would do the text to order, because they already try to do it every time we go down there anyways. They text me personally and try to ask for food. So I mean,
the order's going well.
yeah, it's been great. And the longer we go, the easier it gets for us to kind of manage everything. And getting our timeframes down to what we're giving people are pretty accurate. So even people that walk up to order, we're getting their phone numbers so they can go back to their vehicles and hang out there instead of sitting outside. Has all been working really, really well. I think we are gonna. I want to try out online ordering, true online ordering, during the off season when we're slower, just to give it a whirl to see if I can get it to work the way I want it to work. And that way we can work out any kinks before we get to busy season. But that might be something we actually implement for the summer. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of what the winter is all about, is trying things and trying to figure out new processes and making everything as efficient as possible. And
Yeah, absolutely.
improving the experience for the customer. So yeah. So far it's been a pretty successful off season. It's flying by. I mean, it's going to be March before I know it. Yeah, which kind of makes me tired, because it's so far it's felt like a very busy and frantic off season, just with family stuff and trying to do the truck 3 days a week. So not as relaxing as I would like it to be.
I think next week one of our topics should be is what if you're not rolling all season, what do you do in the off season? What are good practices to do in the off season?
Yeah, I'd keep that in mind. Here, let me write it down. Not on my shopping list, but on a different piece of paper. See, I can take notes. What do you do in the off season?
See, now we have people listening and they're going to anticipate next week.
Well, that's why I cut out a large part of what we were supposed to have homework for this week.
Probably a good idea. When I was a kid, I actually got 3 months detention for lying about doing my homework. So homework, that wasn't one thing that I excelled in, bud. I apologize.
No, you're okay. Like I said, I like the initial idea. I just want to change it up a little bit. So you don't remember we were going to do the chef show. We were going to make the recipes from the chef show.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So instead of doing those recipes, I have found a couple food truck cookbooks of recipes collected from across the country from different food trucks.
Ooh.
I think it would be more fun to, we'll use a number randomizer and we'll go through and pick a page, and we can both make the same recipe for the week, and we can compare notes and pictures and other things. So yes, those of you that watch YouTube that are looking for Skippy's trailer walkthrough, since we were speaking of video, his is on the Facebook page only.
Yeah, it's really large for some reason.
Yeah. So we're working on a way to get videos back and forth, because I have access to manage the YouTube channel. So yeah, once I get a Dropbox type solution set up, we can get everything into the places they need to be.
He doesn't trust me.
I don't trust you. I trust you.
Or else I'd have access to the YouTube channel.
I haven't looked to set up a.
I don't want access. I was just messing around.
No, you're gonna get it now, and then I can hound you. Oh, look, I found it.
Damn it. There goes
Skippy,
Bert.
what's your email address, buddy?
Oh, I forgot. Master service. I can't hear.
Go through a tunnel.
I am following a car with a license plate. It says hooker. I'm sorry. It's hilarious. I've been holding
The next time you stop behind them, you should get out and give them $5, and that's what you can get for it.
Hold on. If I tailgate it, am I violating them?
Maybe. If you're gonna ride their ass that hard, you should at least pull the hair.
They're gonna pull over and ask me for money.
If anybody's offended by that, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, that's the show.
That's been fun.
Mostly PG, and then we'll throw in one little R in there, and I have to check that expletive checkbox every time we upload it. Oh, a BP station.
I'm done. That's awesome. Anyway.
Yeah, that'll be good for next week. I'm looking at a couple different cookbooks, Skippy. Do you have Amazon Prime?
I do. It does.
All right. Do you have the book subscription?
I think my wife does.
All right, I don't, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a way to get this rolling so we can get some additional content up in our free time. But yeah, what?
I said, yay, free time.
Yeah, I could use a little bit more.
You're the one who wanted to work.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, even without that, I don't know that I would have any.
On next week's show, we talk about how Josh is a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I am. I don't know how to slow down.
Same food truck channel, same food truck place, same food truck time.
I do not know how to slow down, and it will probably kill me one day, but it's not going to be today. So
Woo.
Praise God for that. Anyways, find us all the usual spots.
Skippy_BQ on Instagram, PB&J's of Michigan on Facebook, Monday morning or MMFT guys.
Did you just hit a person?
No, it sounded like that.
Lord. Yes, MMFT guys is for YouTube and Facebook. Make sure that when you go to your podcast that you hit the RSS feed or follow or like or whatever the button that is on that service.
Hit the bell so you get new ones coming out every day or every Monday.
Yes. And keep in mind that if you are listening, there is potentially some unedited content on the YouTube channel. If you want an extra 10 minutes of us jabbering about nothing, or dogs barking for 5 minutes or any of that other stuff. So yes, listen and watch in all the places, like us in all the places. If you're looking for my Facebook page, it's at Sweet Rex Barbecue for Facebook. Otherwise, just Google Sweet Rex and Smoking Butts and you can get me at all my other places. So thank you guys for listening and or watching, and we will talk to you next week with episode 21. We've made it over the
Our episodes are finally
century
legal
mark.
next week.
Huh?
Our episodes are finally legal next week. Sorry, it's the cough drop.
We're only barely legal now.
Woo!
Now we're going to get a whole different section of followers. So
Have a good one, guys.
You're my stepbrother from another mother, Skippy. Have a wonderful day.